Folks, as we were just about to go live, our internet decided to wig out for a very brief moment, but we are back live on Twitch. oNiD Racing, good evening and welcome to the final round of the oNiD Classic DTM Championship at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. 12 drivers here to finish off the season in style, with Alfie Beavan already tying up the standings as your championship winner for this season. So I think for tonight, everyone, it's just going to be a bit of a fun drive around, but nonetheless, in the comms booth with me, all the way across from the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean? It's across one of the big oceans, across the pond, as they say over there. Dominic Barut, good evening. Welcome to the final round, and what a season it has been.
Yeah, definitely a good season here. Last round, like you said, here at Brands Hatch. And yeah, I suppose you could get here going across the Pacific Ocean. It might be the longer route, but I think the Atlantic is a traditional route.
What ocean is it between us and you? I can't quite remember. For some
Atlantic.
reason. Atlantic. It's one of the big oceans, okay?
It's the cold one. It's the cold one.
It's a very cold one. Just under 6 minutes of qualifying left. Johan Karolzak, who's our runner-up this season, leading the standings in qualifying around here at Brands Hatch Indy sub 50-second laps for most tonight. Again, good mix of the BMW Alphas and BMWs. And yes, Johnny, thank you.
Mercedes.
And Mercedes as well, should I say. BMW Alphas, Mercedes. What am I saying? Words are failing me tonight. Well, I say Mercedes, we have a Mercedes. Shh, Johnny, be quiet, you. I know what I'm talking about most of the time, honest. Promise, mostly. As we just said, just under 5 minutes now. Karolzak going on a lap, a very short lap for the Indy circuit with 12 cars on track, so they'll be fighting for position non-stop, I do reckon, and 49.3 for Karolzak there as he comes across the line. I'd say that would be a first. What would be a first? What would be a first? No, I'm lost, I'm confused already. It doesn't take much. You confused me already, Sir Johnny. As we'll see, Karolzak going on a lap again. Are you making any sense? Yeah, I know, it's fine. Just need to get conked on the head by a radical again. As wish you were doing this and not Suzuka right now.
That's the story we're going with.
That's the story we're going with, what we're sticking with. Because at the time, that seemed like the most legit story there was. BMW Alpha is your top three as it stands. Ben22 Racing, wish I was doing this and not Suzuka right now. I bet you do, sir. But, you know, you choose to go to Japan, not Brands Hatch, so meh. Hi everyone, good evening, botfly_08, thank you for joining. 3.5 minutes left. Karolzak still ahead of Alfie Scott, James Leach, Strystrand, Hine, Hill, Bain, Nicola Kakis, Silver, Overstreet, Myatt and Tim Barber, your 12 drivers of this evening. So just follow James Leach going through up into the final turn of this Brands Indy circuit. Only 2 timing beams for this lap, so sector 1 who's up by 0.069, so it's maybe an improvement for him as he comes to the line. And then he does improve, but he does improve, goes to 3rd from 4th, so it's a half decent lap right there. As we see, we do have James Leach Sr. dropping in and out of the server. I know he's got some technical issues, bless him, but he's still in the pit lane, and I think he may have caused a bit of a lag spike very briefly earlier on as we went live, as he's trying to join the server all the way from New Zealand, is it?
South Africa.
South Africa. Yeah, close enough.
Yep. You in geography tonight, my friend.
I know, I can't get my
We won't ask you where anything is right now.
No, don't ask me where anything is right now. That radical is definitely not hitting me from the other week, you know. That's where I thought it was. Oh good God, 2 minutes to go. Karolzak leading the way. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Strystrand. I'm convinced I'm still saying that name wrong. I probably am. Is on a lap. Casper, 0.2 of a second down, sadly. And he's going to be very much more down as he spins it into the final turn. Gets on the grass and car goes, you know what, I don't want to grip anymore.
Yeah, that grass is definitely slippery, and if the car is already you're already trying to turn and ask extra of the tires, it's pretty much game over once you hit it.
Yeah, no shadow of a doubt there as you see him come across the line. Can't improve, sadly, so he will continue. Oh, I say continue. Goes off into the sand pit and decides to go to the sandcastles. That, I think, will be qualifying over for him. Karolzak has also invalidated their lap. I don't believe we'll get enough time to set another. Indeed, they won't. So they go back to the pits. Sadly, James Luke still disconnecting from the server, but we'll hopefully see him again sometime soon. He's obviously having some issues with his wheel and pedals. Can't control. Well, you can steer the car, but you can't throttle or brake for some reason, and I think they're still trying to troubleshoot the issue. Strystrand will start just about have enough time to start another lap with about 30 seconds to go. Hein has invalidated, so he's called it quits. That's it for Hein. He won't be improving. We've seen him up in top of the field for quite a few weeks, but sadly not to be at this season, last round of the season. Nikola Kakis comes across the line and starts the lap. See if he can improve. So does Stevie Bain. Anyone else on the lap, I think, will be seeing the checkered flag as they come across it. Zach Silver dives to the pit lane. That's his day over. Overstreet, though, on an improvement, 0.6 up on his time. So that will see him into top 5, potentially. And sadly not lost all the time in the final half of the lap. As we see, what's Bain doing? Good 8th place for Bain, but I think he's not going to improve, sadly. And dives to the pit lane. Where's Nikola Kakis? Comes across the line, can't improve, and that, folks, is qualifying over and done with.
Yeah, some pretty tight times right there between what is that, 2, 3, 4, all within about a tenth.
Absolutely there is. So we will just wait for them to finish off their laps. Some cars going back out on track for some reason. Oh, there you go. We will now eventually proceed into the the race session now, which will be a half-hour race. Your starting positions as it stands: Karolzak, Scott, Leach, Casper. So I'm not going to try and say his surname, so keep on butchering it. Hein, Hill, Nikola Kakis, Bain, Silver. Overstreet is your top 10, and the last couple of cars on the back row, 11th and 12th, Tim Bob and Ben Meyer. Sadly 12 cars this evening. Of course, most people sadly aren't able to make the last round, and a couple of them always wrapped up the championship. So we will see 12 cars take the track for this first race of the evening. First of 2 half-hour races with enforced pit stop tyre change. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on those battles as they navigate this tight, twisty and very short lap around here at Brands Hatch Indy.
Yeah, definitely one of the shorter lap distances we've had throughout the tracks that we raced this season, but I'm pretty sure it'll still give us a pretty good race here with the grass right there on the edge and quite a bit of runoff. I think mistakes are going to be pretty taxing.
Mo Racing 27, keep it clean, guys. I'm sure we will, and thank you for dropping by. It's your first time chat in the Twitch channel, and I'm very sorry to hear that you have the dreaded C word, the C infection. Wish you a speedy recovery. So just wait for the countdown to finish. We'll then see the lights go out for the first 30-minute race of the evening. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. And we are away for what is the first race of the final round tonight here at Brands Hatch Indy. Karolzak gets it well ahead of the cars ahead of him. The sliding cars in the background. There's probably a bit of a bump there in the background from Alfa Romeo sliding through the exit of turn 1. Apart from that, they all get away cleanly. Down the hill they go. I think we're somewhat okay for now. The only change in position is Tim Bob and Zach Silver's there fighting away, and I think Tim Bob has yielded to Silver. Indeed he has. As we go on to the next lap. Midfield battle. Oh, Hines fall down the order. There's been an instant for Hines.
I think Ben might have had an issue there too.
I think he might have done as well. Ben Wyatt dropped down the order too, and he has indeed. He's found the sandpit again. It's Olkers. Yes, of course. Olkers, get well soon. Absolutely, bless you. Rest up, drink plenty of fluids and whatnot. Hope to see you again soon. But stay tuned because we have an exciting announcement for next season at the break between the races. You'll be able to find out here what we're going to be driving next season, and that's Scott just in the background getting it on the curbs and puts the BMW nose first into the barrier.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too much of that grass on the exit and just ended up spinning it around.
Well, the grass does tend to kill cars on a Assetto Corsa, and there's plenty of it here. Well, Scott does get going again, so she's alright. Let's see what's happening up in the race lead. Karolzak being kept honest by the leech. So both go on to what is the third racing lap of 30 minutes. And still, as I said, keeping each other honest. Karolzak hasn't checked out, and Leach is still very much there, filling up the wing mirrors of that BMW ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely not as big of a gap so far as we've seen in the previous races. But we'll see what can happen with Streisand there in third. About 1.2 off the lead, so see if we can close in.
We shall see indeed. It is a battle with Nicola Hill and Silver, actually, should I say. Ash Hill defending as they go up into turn 2, now down into turn 3. Over under for Silver. No, can't quite make that work. Tucks back inside the slipstream of that BMW car. And Zach Silver has a moment, saves it, gets a bit slidey. Manages to keep it pointing in the right direction.
Very slidey. That was quite the drift there, honestly.
Without a shadow of a doubt, as they will keep fighting down into turn 1, and there's a battle behind them as well. Tim Bob and Jacob Hine. And that is a move in the background for Hine up the inside of Tim Bob. I think that's move done. And they continue their fight. Lovely four-way battle here for what is 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. These group of cars not letting go of each other. But I can tell you who is letting go of the leader. It's Leach, dropping to 1.8 seconds behind Karolzak in the lead.
I wonder if possibly there's a little bit of an incident there.
You do wonder, because Streisand, or Casper should I say, is only about 1 second behind.
Yeah, definitely close that gap up not quite a bit, but a little bit, that's for sure. Definitely looking a little bit bigger there in Leach's mirrors.
Absolutely, and now these guys are also going to be catching back markers soon. I can't believe I said that in a 30-minute race, but with the length of the track, we're only having about laps at about 49, 48 or 50 seconds. We're going to see some of these cars catch up with each other pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely the lap count is going to be pretty substantial, I'd assume. I mean, with it being under, we're going to be over 30 laps, so I'm sure there'll be quite a bit of lapping going on.
Absolutely. As you await the pit window to open as well. That will open in when we hit 20 minutes. We'll see cars starting to dive for the pit lane at around that time.
Oh, I think we have an issue for Karlzak in the lead. Yep.
That is Karlzak making a mistake from the lead. That's a big change up. Leach now leading the way from Kasper, Nikolakakis, Hill and Silver. Karlzak all the way down the order.
Right back there with Scott, actually. So
yeah, absolutely.
Both 1 and 2 are back in 8th and 9th now.
Absolutely they are. And Ben Myatt, though, we see the leaders just come into shot in the background as the camera panned away to follow Ben Myatt up into the last corner. So the leaders are now catching.
Ben does have a little bit more breathing room with Karlzak making that mistake, but Leach is definitely was matching that pace just about, so he's coming just about as quick.
No, absolutely, and indeed they'll be wanting to get everything sorted out with the back markers, and now the question will be how much of a role are these black markers, oh sorry, I'll say that without trying to stutter, how much of a role will these back markers play in defining the race lead. Hein and Silver though going at it up into turn 2, and
I think Nikolakakis and Hill are right there battling just in front as well
for the final podium position as well. So this is now 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th with the spinning Karlzak. And indeed in the background, Hein trying to find a way past Silver. Can't quite make it work, and these guys will go almost nose to tail down the main straight.
A good mix of all the cars here, so definitely the BOP looks like it's playing out pretty even.
Absolutely. Bob and Scott in the background going at it. Yeah. So they're having their own battle a bit further back from this, but Hein still wanting to make the move on Silver, and they have a little touch. And oh, that's Silver off the road a little bit. Hein puts a squeeze on, but makes the move work. Scott has faced an issue. Finds themselves pointing in the wrong direction on the side of the track. Right, where's the leaders? Right, they are now catching last place of Ben Myatt. Kasper in the Alpha, and there's Ben just ahead of him in the BMW.
Tim Bob coming into the pits about a minute early there, so he must have had some damage that he just had to get fixed.
Ooh, that's not good at all. So you'll need to pit again to make the mandatory pit stop, and we see Ben Myatt quite wisely getting out the way there of the race leader. Now officially 1 lap down.
You had to make that official, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Just had to tick that box. Now officially.
Now officially 1 lap down. The admin. One of the admins of Raceroom Racing is now officially 1 lap down. Stevie Baines had a little spin himself, and I think again another admin is about to be lapped in a couple of moments' time when we see that Alpha of the leader come into shot. And I'm putting emphasis on it because I could be a bit of an annoyance when trying to rub stuff in admin's faces. Anyway, it's all out of love, really, guys. Honest, as Pit window
The
is now
Bane's
open.
car is looking a little beat up, though. That's for sure.
It's been in the wars, hasn't it? Bless it. It's a poor little thing. Right, pit lane is now open. We do see a couple of cars. Zach Silver's decided to dive for the pit lane pretty early.
I'm not really surprised by that. He's been asking a lot of those tires for the first little bit of that race. He was sideways quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So he will get going again. Now have a battle. Hein and Nikola Kakis. Oh, there's a errand car of Ben Myatt going very wide into the grass. Taking avoiding action, I think, there of...
I think somebody else is off with him.
Oh, that's Karolzak.
Oh no. So he's dropping down. It's back to 7th there.
Back down to 7th, he is indeed. Casper from P2 comes into the pit lane. That's one of the first leaders to make their pit stop. Leach, however, still out. Nikola Kakis is also pitted as well. So we'll see how this all shakes up the order when the leaders do decide to come in and take their pit stop. They have 8.5 minutes to do so. And we'll see if that changes the lead at all, or the standings.
I feel like Leach is possibly pulling away from Hill up there in the lead, little by little.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that. Nikola Kakis still in the pit lane. He's been in that pit box for quite a while. Has officially... Nikola Kakis has, after taking his pit stop, officially been lapped. So, whatever's happened to him... It's a fairly long pit stop. Did he have damage? Potentially.
Yeah, that is an extremely long pit stop in contrast to everybody else. And I'm sure a few people have cycled through who've had damage.
He's about to end up 2 laps down if he doesn't leave his pit box. The leader's about to come through the last corner now. So we have issues with Nikola Kakis.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a possible technical issue on his end.
Possibly. Hill from P2 comes into the pit lane, serving his mandatory pit stop. And everyone else around him will get the jump and get the positions, but I have a sneaky feeling that once they pit, they might be able to maybe undercut him or overcut him. I can't remember which way around it is. Overcut if you pit later than your competitors. Yeah, overcut.
Yes, correct.
See, I know what I'm talking about most of the time.
That really sucks for Nikola Kakis, though. That was definitely going to be one of his best races there, shown in, what was that, 3rd or 4th when he came in the pit?
Still in the pit lane. 2.5 minutes now he's been in the pits. Oh, he now gets going again.
I'm wondering if everybody else just didn't repair their damage and he did.
2 minute 38 pit stop. That's a good 3 laps. It does get going again. Got to wonder though why in the world he had to make such a long pit stop now. Ignore the timing screen on your left. Little amber bars show who still needs to pit. It doesn't necessarily follow true. So we know that mostly everyone, bar from the top 5, have pitted.
I'm showing everybody. So the top 4 has not pitted. Well, Hein just drove in, but top 4 has not, and Overstreet has not.
Cool. Top 4 and Overstreet. Cool. Good to know. Even folks, yay Brands. Yes, absolutely Brands Hatch. Raxer. Thank you for dropping by. A pleasure to see you. Hope all is well as we see James Leach in the race lead. And still yet to pit. 10-second gap over P2, which is pretty dominant.
I think Hine dove into the pits, and that just let it drop back to Scott, who had the issue earlier on. So Scott having that issue has actually made up a significant amount of time, I feel, being only 10 seconds behind now.
Yeah, she's done relatively well in trying to close that gap. Leach is just... I mean, Overstreet was leading after his spin, and he's now down in 8th. So, what could have been for Overstreet? We'll hopefully see him back up in the order for race 2 later on this evening after this first half-hour race. We get to do this all over again. Get to see who gets on top of a one-shot qualifying. Well, it won't be one shot. A 5-minute qualifying. Because the lap is so short, they'll probably get more than one lap in. And we'll see what they can do. And might shake up the order a little bit. Might throw a couple of people off.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the second one plays out. See if some of the people who had incidences in this first race could possibly clean it up a little bit and get back up on the top of the order.
Quite possibly. We will find out. We are still waiting for the top runners to make their pit stops though, because maybe that Hill, Hine, Silver might get the jump on these guys if they leave it any later than they have. Where's the Alien? And the Alien isn't racing tonight because he's not probably racing because he's sealed up the championship already, and has decided not to race tonight to have a bit of a celebration.
Yeah, he's probably kicking back on his yacht in Monaco. Huh?
if only. Leach still not pitted yet. 3 minutes to pit. He's got another 2 or 3 laps to, or maybe even 4 laps to contemplate taking his mandatory pit stop. 20 laps now with just under 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the battle between Leach and Hill plays out. Seems how Casper actually got around Hill, it might have opened up, honestly.
You will find out. That's a lot of grass by Leach. Turns his car into a bit of a lawnmower there as he goes up into the final turn. Will he pit? Will he? He will. Right, where is Hill? Hill's just starting a lap. It shows how short this track actually is.
Yeah, I want to say that there might have been an issue for Hill. I'm not 100% though, because Hill was ahead of Casper before going into the pits.
Potentially, we'll keep an eye on that. I don't think we noted anything, but definitely a change position that we weren't expecting. As Leach still in the pit box. As Casper, and there goes Hill. And now Leach is moving. He's probably going to lose out to Hine as well. And Silver.
Wow. So going long definitely did not play out.
No, he's just lost the race. The race lead basically. Hill is now your potentially de facto race leader.
Casper is actually he's already taken his pit stop, so that's what I was saying that's what I was saying, that I figured he might have been behind or ahead of Hill, but I was way wrong. He's actually sitting back in, what is that, 5th de facto 5th? No. As I stutter that word.
No, fair enough. As we see, de facto. Of course, our timing screen's a little bit wrong, but our de facto race leader is Casper. Karolzak and Stott still need to pit, and they'll be cutting it fine. 38 seconds. They should be all right. They're going through the final turn. Both of them will probably dive for the pits this lap. We would certainly hope so. Yeah, there's Scott. There she goes, and then Karolzak promptly follows Scott into the pit lane. And Karolzak's got a lot of damage on the front of that BM, so we'll probably be sticking in the pit lane for quite a while to get all that damage repaired.
Overstreet dives in with him, and actually I might have a theory on what happened to Nikola Kakis, seeing Overstreet come in a little hot. He got into the wall. I wonder if Nikola Kakis possibly came into the pits too fast and added significant damage.
Possibly. It would be sad if that's the case. But you know what was really nice to see? Look at that. 21 laps down. Leach Senior has made it.
He's out and he's driving. Nice. That's good to see. He will be here for the second race then.
We surely do hope so. He is probably just going to test his car just to be sure everything's working okay. We do know he was suffering from some technical issues, but judging by seeing his car out on track, I would like to think he's got it all sorted.
Yeah, it was a very odd technical issue. He had all his wheel and everything was working, but he said that just his throttle pedal wasn't, which is quite odd.
Oh, Nikola Kakis has disconnected. So sadly, back down
from bad to worse.
So sadly, back down to 12 drivers, but nonetheless, he actually might hold 12th because of Leach Senior being 21 laps down. I don't think Senior's going to be able to do. What is it, about 18 laps? I might do 18 laps to pass Nikola Kakis.
You got to figure Nikola Kakis was also what 3-4 laps down as well, so he really only has to do the 14 or something.
21 laps down is Senior to the leader. So yeah, 16, 17 laps. 5, no, not quite, sadly.
Yeah, I don't believe he'll make that. It'll be able to cut it in half, but not get past him.
No, exactly. He's doing 50-second laps, sadly, so I think he's only going to get about 10 in, potentially. So, not enough to catch Nikola Kakis, so James Leach Senior will definitely stay 30th, but good props on him for getting things sorted and getting back into the lobby and coming back to race what is our final race of this season. And we will be announcing our next set of cars for next season. So stay tuned to find out what we'll be racing come a couple of weeks' time. We will keep an eye on this lead battle though, because Casper and Hill, about a 1 second gap between them as we see a BMW. I think that's Ben Myatt losing it, or Stevie Vane, one or the other, getting out into the sand pit. Scap is closing. Hill was about 0.2 of a second quicker last lap compared to Casper, and I think he's managed to close.
Yep, I think that gap is definitely coming down.
Oh, it is.
It's a matter of how will they get past?
Well, Tim Bob's off the track, sadly, as we just saw him in the background there. So
that's who that was. I was wondering.
Yeah, he does rejoin. Oh, it's very slidey. We'll stick with this battle though and tell you what, it's a bit of fun. Let's jump on bonnet cams. We see Ash Hill thinking about a move at the inside of turn 1, and I think he's just mind pushed, as a wonderful Johnny Ashley would say. Has been mind pushed and bugged out off the track and forced into making a mistake.
Yep, that was definitely a little bit of psychological warfare going on there.
Yeah, I hope I resolve my tech issues before the announcement, says Netraxer. Well, you better, sir. It's going to be a fantastic announcement, and we are very excited to be announcing what our next season of Assetto Corsa will be. As we have just under 6 minutes left of this race. Hill now leading away, a 3.5 second gap to Casper, who's now being reeled in by Jacob Hine and James Leach.
Yeah, I was just noticing that, so I think this may come back in Leach's favor with the newer tires. He has closed that gap down. He's right there. I don't know if he'll be able to get that first, but he might be able to get a second.
We'll definitely see as he goes now. Oh, Scott has made a mistake. Turn 2, facing the wrong way.
Silver is just a little bit down the hill as well.
I wonder if they've had it coming together. Quite possibly.
Yep, they were right around each other.
Well, we will see what happens. They do get going though, which is nice to see, but yeah, nice to see a car facing the wrong direction. Hill. Excuse me, still leading away from Casper and Hine and Leach. Casper now under threat from Jacob Hine in the Mercedes there. The only Mercedes racing tonight so far.
I think Alfie would be proud putting that Mercedes on the podium.
I think so, absolutely. Tim Bob sadly having a crash up in turn 2. Waiting for a gap to rejoin, and indeed we'll get going again. We'll stick with this P2, P3 battle as they go through the final turn. Will the Mercedes be able to make a move up the inside of turn 1? Will Casper be freaked out again by a potential move up the inside? Not a hold station for now. They both get on.
That is Leach in the background though, getting a little wide.
Is Tim the Flying Brit, yeah, but absolutely. As still can't make a move, Ken Hine, but look at that, the Alpha goes very deep, and I think that's move done for second place.
Yep, I think that was possibly just a little bit of mirror driving, looking back a little too much.
Well, that's move done for that podium position. And I think now Hines is going to get his head down and solidify that second place.
Seen a lot of people run wide in that first turn.
No, indeed. Getting really risky with the curb, aren't they? It's a very risky thing to do.
Yeah, that definitely slows you down when you hit that stuff, even if you only get a couple wheels on it.
Indeed, yeah. So very risky place to drive, but nonetheless, if you can get it right, you can find so much time. As we see Tim Bob passing, and that's just lapping someone there. Tim Bob, a very damaged BMW, but it's definitely Ash Hill's race to lose now. It's 3.5 second gap, and Jacob Hine has just been overtaken by Casper. Oh, it's contact between Leach and Hine. That was a massive.
Is Hine out of gas?
No.
He just went back to the pits.
No way. Jacob Hine out of fuel. Oh boy.
That's by a lot though. We still have 1:47 left.
That's a serious miscalculation if that's the case.
Did possibly blown engine? Misshift?
Potentially.
Double click down on a no.
Maybe we'll probably get Hine in the comms box to maybe ask the question.
Nope. He's going already, so it wasn't a blown motor.
He is now, sadly, 1 lap down in 7th place.
Carlzak, though, is back up onto the podium.
That's good for him. That's going to be quite a nice recovery drive for Carlzak.
Yeah, that Beamer is looking a little beat up.
It is looking a little beat up, sadly. That's right, that's what all Beamers look like. They're made to crash, you know. Typical BMW drivers.
It's like that over there too.
Yeah, exactly. Don't know how to use their indicators and everything, you know. Totally. Is that a thing for you in the States as well?
Yeah, in a hurry to get to the person in front of them's rear bumper.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds about right. I think this will be the last lap for Ash Hill. He'll come up into the final turn 8 seconds ago. I do think this will be it. He will see the checkered flag with a 35 lap race. What has been a fantastic half-hour race for these 12 drivers. Congratulations, Ash Hill, race winner in this first race at the final round here at Brands Hatch Indy. Casper will come across the line for second. A well-driven race for him. Kawzak in a very beaten-up BMW. It's even more beaten-up BMW. Dear God, that's whiplash. As James Leach comes across the line in fourth, best of the rest. Silver fifth. Scott sixth. As they go through the final turn down the main straight. Overstreet and Hine already seen a checkered flag. They've solidified their positions in 7th and 8th. Tim Bob comes crawling down the main straight, not at full rate or not, so it comes across the line at P9. Ben Might has seen checkered flag right at P10. Last driver coming across the line is P11, Stephen Bain. And as we said, sadly, Nicola Kakis 12th and James Leach Sr. finishing in P13.
Yeah, definitely a good showing for Hill and Casper there, getting up 1-2. I believe that's the best, definitely the best for Hill. And I think Casper as well. I think Casper's only had about a 3 or 4 maybe best.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's try and leave the server and pray to the God my computer doesn't crash. There we go, it hasn't crashed, it's fine. We're good. Fantaribo, so many spins for myself. That's a name I do not recognise. You're going to have to tell me who you are, good sir. But indeed, we did see quite a few spins. Right, let's see what's happening. Well, that was a very interesting race, that's for sure. And I think after such fun at Brands Hatch in these DTMs, it is about time. Oh, Johan, of course you are. Yes, hello, Johan. That was a lot of spinning. You were leading! You were leading, good sir! What in the world happened? Absolutely insane. And I think my internet has just thrown a bit of a hissy fit. Oh, network error. Interesting. Well, that was definitely interesting for a moment now. We are back live. Apologies about that, guys.
I saw 1 or 2 of those possibly.
There we go, we are back live. There we go. Oh, it's a Ben. Hello. For some reason, when I leave and join lobbies, the internet just throws a hissy fit.
Because. Just because, you know. Absolutely. Right. I take it you're here for a very special reason, Ben. I am here for a reason. First of all, we've got a list of thank yous for people.
Oh, do tell.
Because, right. First
We're
up,
official.
you guys
We're doing this right.
Yeah, you guys for doing this stream all season. It has been brilliant to watch back.
Oh,
But your streams are always great, but it has been properly ace this season.
my ego doesn't need any more inflating, Ben. Please.
We know. We know we've seen you in your overalls.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to bring it to everyone that decides to tune in. It's just a sheer joy to make fun of people spin the cars in a virtual environment.
Yeah. Next thank you goes to Rob Simanska, Racing Psycho, who not many people know actually came up with the idea for this season. He doesn't even race AC, but he came up with the idea and put it forward for this one. And I think it's been a very, very good season.
Very, very good.
Next thing, thirdly, because we got a few to get through, all the admins, but especially want to give big thanks to Angela Scotty, because she has been testing the cars every single week to work out the balance performance. Sometimes she's been testing them straight after the races have finished. So every single week she was the first person to put balance of performance on herself. So, she has done a wonderful job. She's made absolutely sure it's been fair for the entirety of the season. And finally, thanks to all the admins for backing things up, especially when I've not been able to make it, keeping things going, and making sure it's been a great season. But I know we've got the exciting bit that people want to hear about.
You do. So,
So,
it feels like you're at a war show. You've got like a queue.
I know,
You've
it's
got so many people to thank, but you know who you are. I think.
List of thank yous there. I want to thank God. No, we did close the vote for next season last night, and we have settled on the cars for next season. And weirdly, it's a combination that technically wasn't even on the vote, because we had a tie between the Toyota GT86 and the Lotuses. So we've gone for the best of both worlds. We are doing multi-class. The multi-class was originally the Lotus Evora and the Lotus V6 Cup. We're dropping the V6 Cup and putting the Toyotas in instead. So it's going to be the Lotus Evora and the Toyota GT86 for a 6-week season on all American tracks.
Oh,
so that will be going out for general sign-ups in the near future.
Indeed, it will. We are very excited to bring you what will be a very interesting another multi-class season, and it will just cannot wait.
Yep. We've not done a multi-class on the Mondays yet, so this is going to be very interesting. We're trying a new format as well. It's going to be a 15-minute sprint race with a 45-minute feature race with a pit stop. So lots of new things being tried out in the. This is our last really big season of the year, so we're going to try and make it a banger to go out on.
I like the sound of that.
Sounds like everybody should get in there and sign up quick.
Absolutely,
the spots will probably be filled up.
So, well, it's only out to the patrons and OGs at the moment. So as soon as in the very near future, we're going to be putting it out to general sign-ups, and I think that one is going to fill up very quickly.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling there's going to be another waiting list on that one once it's full.
Yeah,
I want to say thanks to all our races as well, because we had a waiting list right up until this week to get into the championship. That's how popular this one has been.
Absolutely insane, in a good way. But yeah,
it's been astonishing. I had to keep a waiting list. So normally, I figured, no, we'll close it off this week. It'll be fine. And no, every single week we've had more people sign up just to try and get in.
Well, Stormbot 13 is Jacob Hine.
That is Jacob Hine, yeah.
Already signed up because he's one of the OGs and patrons, I do believe.
Yeah.
And absolutely, thank you to yourself as well. But you've thanked so many other people. We need to thank you as well, because just for being here and making sure everything runs smoothly and organising these things. It is a pleasure.
I'm just happy I got a point this evening. I have a championship point.
Exactly. The consolation prize, yay.
I'll take it. I'm happy. I didn't think I was going to get any.
The participation medal, yeah, okay.
Right, I'm gonna have to dart back over because the server will be launching in a minute, and I've got to do the bop for everyone else.
Yeah, you go do your admin.
Everyone else is getting 100% restricted for the next race, and I'll probably still finish last. So, guys, I will catch you afterwards, guys.
Ben, it's been a pleasure. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the evening. We will speak again soon.
Thanks very much.
Well, folks, there you have it. Ooh, what a season we will be having in 2 weeks' time. 1 week break for all our drivers and admins here. We'll have a quick social and probably have a bit of a one-off race in the meantime, which of course you are absolutely free to come and get involved in. Come and say hi and have a bit of fun in our rest week. And if there is sign-ups available, please do get involved. But we will be back in 2 weeks' time with our next season. But in the meantime, we do have one more race to go.
Yep, one more half-hour feature here, and well, I'm sure it'll be just as exciting as every other race we've seen this entire season.
I'm sure it will be. Let's hope the server launches as I attempt to join, and indeed it has, which is fun. Happy days. We've got about 8.5 minutes left of practice. It ensures all the drivers are able to join the server and get everything set up for the race. Let's go to live pictures of the track itself. There we go. As we see everyone joining the server, we've got 12 drivers back in the server. We are potentially waiting for one more. We do have both Leaches out on track, as we see James Leach Sr. recovering from their what was technical difficulties earlier on.
Yep, definitely the first one out on the circuit, trying to make up as many laps as possible, I'm sure, with the practice time.
Yeah, no doubt they want to be getting their practice in and try and potentially challenge for a good result. Yeah, we're up to 13 drivers now, and I think, yes, James Leach Sr. was the 13th. I can't find... Oh, hello a minute. Who do we have here?
We do have a sneaking in there for the last race of the season.
Our championship winner, Alfie Bevan.
I suppose he just slept in, showed up for the second race to collect the trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just goes for the glory, doesn't he? We have our alien back, folks. Alfie Bevan in the server here for the final race of the evening, just to send it off and get a bit of fun in. Ash 170990. That was fun. Ash Hill, I believe. Yes, looked like fun, and it looked like he
most definitely
himself.
fun. Congratulations on the win, if that is Ash Hill.
It is indeed. I think it is Ash. It has to be. I think it is.
I'm going to put 1 and 1 together, but, you know.
Yeah, just hope it doesn't make 3.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, dear Lord. As, yeah, we have 13 drivers now for the last race this evening, so let's just spice up things a little bit more on what is a very length-restricted circuit, the Indy circuit here at Brands. So I'm sure we'll see some close, tight racing. As yes, it is. We did put 1 and 1 together. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic win there for you. So I think you should take that run for the hill. So that's your first win of the season as well. So congratulations. Better late than never.
I want to point out too, the only other person besides Carl Zackenbeven to take a win this season.
That is very true.
Definite congratulations there.
You're in a very exclusive club this season. The Club of Race Winners. So congratulations. As we just wait for the server to take over from this practice session. As we can see, people really getting used to the track now. We did have someone else join. And we do have 14 drivers. I was trying to figure out who joined at the last minute. We've got Ben Myatt.
Senior?
Which senior was their last race for 13? So
and then Bevan makes 14.
14. No, we've got... Oh yeah, ignore me.
13 and 1 is 14.
Quiet you.
You're throwing maths out the window now?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Absolutely. I'm going to do something very, very cheeky and just see if Alfie Bevan is free for a quick pre-race interview. So I will be back with you in a minute, Dominic.
No worries.
Let's see if we can drag Alfie down. Alfie, it's Aidan in the comms box. Are you there? If you're there, Alfie, you are muted. He's decided to go to the track. Don't worry, we'll leave you to it. Have a good race. Oh, that was a disappointment. Quite gutted about that. As Alfie does go to the track and sneaks in for that last race. Let's see who else is potentially free to fill in the last couple of minutes. Let's have a look. Quick here, Alfie beeping his horn on the car. He knows we're watching. Cheeky thing, isn't he? Let's see if let's see if the Leach is. No, he's not, sadly. Next person along the list. Let's see if Jacob Hines in the pit side. Nicola Kakis is really good for the chat. Alex, it's Aidan in the comms box. Good evening. How are you doing? Alex, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. Hey, Aiden.
Hello, how you doing?
Whoa! Twice in a row!
Take us a quick lap around Brands Hatch Indy then. How are you finding it?
I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really fun. Lots of up and downs and stuff. T1 is quite scary. Are you on my cockpit view? Can you see what I'm looking at?
Yeah, we can be, and we are on board with you now.
It's easier because I can point at things. See, this was great. Now I'm on the outside apex, and now I'm gonna brake here, down the gear, and then to get it turned, and then let's go. Try to stay on the right here. Let it slide a little bit. Accelerate early. I see people braking here, but just lift. And then we brake in, and hopefully don't lose it completely. A little bit of more relaxed lap, but there you go.
Very nice. Thank you very much for that, Alex. How are you finding the Alpha? I know we had to balance the performance of the Alphas this season, but are you finding it any restrictive on this track?
I'd say on this track we're actually having the best time ever.
Good.
It has quite a bit of grip and the power out of the corners. So in general, there isn't a big straight for them to catch us. So good times.
Good times. Well, I'll leave you to it, Alex. Have a good rest of your evening. We will no doubt.
Shout out to Jack and Lydia and Louise and Brennan and Ross and Sylvia, all the people.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. You can never fail to be entertained by Alex Nikolakakis. Bless him. He's absolutely wonderful. And we will just drag one more driver into the comments box before we get going for the next race. Let's see who is out on track. Chris is in the pits. Let's quickly drag him down. Chris is Aidan in the comments box. I've spoken to one American already. Let's speak to the other one. How are you doing this evening?
Fine. Glad to come to you from the land of only two people.
I mean, I've got one in the comments box. I just thought, I might as well speak to the other one. How's the...
I hope you had a good, entertaining show out of the first race.
It was rather entertaining. How did you find it, good sir?
Early on, it was a struggle. I am really not good at this track in general. It's not one of my favorites.
Got you.
But once I got on the softs at the end, things turned out a bit better, and I caught a few bits of good luck and got a respectable result out of it.
Very good. We saw you involved in a couple of bit of bumpy moments on track. Are you hoping to avoid that in this second race?
Technically, the only time I touched another car was at the very start when Steven wasn't able to get his car into gear.
Ooh.
Everything else was purely self-inflicted. And yes, obviously, I hope not to do that again.
Bless you. We will leave you to it. The qualifying session will kick off in a few moments' time. We'll track you back up with the voice chat. Chris, thank you very much. We will no doubt see you hopefully next season and speak to you again soon.
All right, take it easy.
I think that's enough of dragging people down into the comments box now. I think they've been abused by my admin abilities a bit too much. So let's head back to the comments box. Dominic, we are back. We just did our inverted grid walk. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I definitely was listening on that. And I say if we ever have a week where Nick Lukakis isn't racing for some reason but wants to jump in the comms booth, we get him in here.
Absolutely can. He is such a joy to be with and to speak to. As of everyone tonight, have been incredibly, fantastically open and just being awesome. Everyone helping everyone, trying to get everyone racing as well. It's been a fantastic, wonderful, inclusive, and welcoming group of drivers, and it's been a sheer pleasure to commentate and and watch you guys go at it in these 90s DTM cars over this AC season. Of course, we hope to see you all back next season. But before we say our fond goodbyes to the DTM cars, we do have one more half-hour race to go to see these guys duke it out for bragging rights.
Yeah, definitely a huge thank you to all the drivers and everybody that watched along too throughout the season and got in the chat and talked to us along the way and everything. That's definitely appreciated.
Without a shadow of a doubt, we will get going for qualifying as we see Karolzak leading the cars out for the final time on this season into the qualifying session. We have, how many cars do we have? 13 cars out for qualifying, so we'll definitely see a bit more action up and down the field for the last half hour. Right, as we were saying, sub-minute lap times were observed, very much sub-minute lap times, sub-minute 50-second times were observed in the last qualifying session. 5 minutes, just technically a one-shot qualifying for most tracks, but round here you might actually be able to get 2 or 3 laps in. So we'll see what these guys can do. Karolzak will come across the line to be the first car on a lap and will be the benchmark for everyone else to beat. He goes drifting through turn 1 as he finds the curb on the outside, gets under the brakes up into turn 2.
Yeah, definitely a little out of control there going through first turn.
That rear was that tail of that BMW was waggling more frantically than an excited dog.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. As it goes through the final sector, up through the last turn, usually would turn left of the school circuit instead of having a bit of a shortcut down to the final turn, and we're immediately back on the main straight. And Karolzak will come across the line to set a lap time of 49.5. Can anyone else beat it? Angela Scott will be next across the line. Can't beat it. Who will be next? Hill can't beat it. Bevan can't beat it. 4th and 3rd respectively. Casper gets into one of the 49.8. There's Leach, 49.5. 9 thousandths of a second quicker than Karolzak. What a very close margin for lap time that is. So Leach for now has the first round of bragging rights.
Yeah, I think that's the definition of sneaking it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Bain unable to set a lap time as of yet, so these guys will get another crack at it. Leach, as I said, is currently leading the way. Karolzak is first out. No, it's not. Tim Bob does improve though, 49.6.36, and that is his qualifying over for sure. Scott comes across the line, gets P3 and immediately picked by Bevan into P3 as our championship winner is now setting very good fast times, and the top 3 split by only about 0.06 of a second. That's how close the margins are around here on a short track with very little time to be found. When you do go quick, it's very hard to improve if you're trying to beat someone.
Yeah, definitely some very tight margins there, that's for sure. Definitely closer than the first race qualifying.
Absolutely. Top 7 within 0.3 of a second. 8th through to 11th, 0.3 of a second. Top 11 covered by 1 second exactly. Oh, that's a car going off to the right there. Didn't quite see that. That was Scott finding the barrier in a very peculiar way. So she'll, if she goes out now, might have enough time to go back out. I don't think she is. Silver just comes across the line now, good enough for P8. Managed to get up into the 49s. Yeah, Snaptrack's alien showed up again. He did indeed, and he is currently in 3rd place. We'll have enough time to get this lap and another in, so we may see him improve. Yeah, Karolzak does a 49.1. and goes very wide, and that's his qualifying over. Bevan, however, does start another lap. Leach, though, pips Bevan to second place. But 0.3 of a second for Leach or 0.4 of a second for Bevan to find as he goes on to what will be his last flying lap. Last flying lap for most of these cars, actually, with only 9 seconds left on the clock. Up into the final turn goes Alfie, drifting his car through the final turn pretty much, gets the power down. You find it, he likes to drift that car, he finds time by doing it. Comes to the line, will it be pole for Bevan? It won't, third place will have to do for the championship winner. Only other cars to be on laps, Nicola Kakis and Hine will wait for them to see the checkered flag and we will go racing for the final time here at Brands Hatch Indy for this season of 90s DTMs.
Yeah, I'm wondering where Karolzak found that just about 0.3 of a second over second place.
So, well, your starting order, as we said, Karolzak by about 0.234 of a second is your pole sitter from Leach, Bevan, Scott, Bob, Hill, Casper, Silver, Leach Senior getting back in their top 10, and Nicola Kakis in 10th. Hine, Bain, and Overstreet rounds up and Myatt, should I say, Ben Myatt, rounds up 14 drivers for what will be a wonderful celebration of a fantastic season. One last half-hour race to round it all off, and then we go fresh again in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, final round. It's for all the money, even though championship's decided. I'm sure these guys will still be wanting to go for that last race win.
Absolutely. Bragging rights is priceless.
That is for sure.
Right, let's go with Karolzak, your pole sitter, for the race start. Just waiting the countdown, we've got about another 40 seconds until we get going again. Revving the engines already as we await the start of the final race. 20 seconds to go until we see the lights. And here we go. For the final time of the season, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. And we're away. Karolzak gets a very poor start off the pole position now, and the Alfa Romeo is going to look around the outside immediately into turn 1. But it looks like that BMW does hold position for now. Alfa is going to stick right on his tail, and Leach will try and go around the outside line. But up the inside, Bevan poking his nose into turn 2. They'll go down to turn 3. Second and third side by side as they go into the braking zone. Leach holds off Bevan for now. Karolzak leads away, 0.5 of a second gap he's already created. And in the background, Alfie Bevan already looking up the inside of Leach for P2, and that's move done. Muscles Leach out of the way. Instant in the background, Casper and Ben Myatt coming together, and Ben Myatt sadly finding himself in the grass. Does get going again. And Bevan making a move down Leach, but Karolzak a 1.2 second gap. A move up the inside from Hill on Leach into turn 1.
That was a brave move right there.
They did, but look at this. Leach gets a cut back, gets it up the inside of turn 2. And muscles the BMW out of the way in the background. Scott and Bob also fighting away side by side into turn 3. This battle here for 4th and 3rd. Still side by side, each driver giving each other space as they allow them to fight through the lap. And still side by side as the Alfa gets on the grass a little bit. Manages not to spin the car and holds off the charging BMW for now. Indeed, Scotty did lose 3 positions sadly, and has dropped down to 6th. There's always contact between the 4th and 3rd. And Hill does save it, but loses the position to Zach Silver. Or not, sends it back up the inside, casually.
I'll be having that back. You weren't supposed to have that.
No, that's my space. You can't have it. It's mine. Mine, I tell you.
It was quite the save, though, from Hill there, that's for sure. Definitely a little bit of a tank slapper going through there.
Indeed, a bit of a induced tank slapper, a bit of contact there with the Alpha of James Leach. They do manage to keep going and keep it pointing in the same direction, which is what matters with going now on to lap 3 of about a 35 lap race, 27 or just over 27 minutes to go, and action up and down the grid. Positions were changing for the most part. In the background there you just see Stevie Bain making a move on Tim Bob, admin versus admin. Steve goes wide into turn 2 but manages to get it back onto the exit curb and gets drive to the defender position. And gets very wide out of turn 3.
This looked like maybe a little sideways going in on the possibly.
Yeah, potentially, but now look at this, Tim Bob under threat from Nikola Kakis in the Alfa Romeo. A little love tap as well, and that is Tim Bob around, and I think Nikola Kakis gets onto the grass and sandpit as well and slows himself down.
Yep, definitely a little bit of a bump there.
Indeed it was, and Bob loses out to Hine as well, sadly. Scott
Oh, Scott
is off.
Up and down.
Loses 2 places to Bain and Leach Senior, sadly, so she'll be wanting to get those places back as quickly as possible, but Nikola Kakis also gets the move done on her as well. They go side by side into turn 3. Angela just about holds out for now. The Alpha's probably going to get a bit of a better drive, but yeah, I think eventually the BMW manages to get back ahead. Oh, can I breathe yet?
Yeah, it seems like Angela's having a little bit of difficulties here, possibly. Seen her go off a few times. Not really characteristic of her.
No, absolutely not. On the medium tyre though, so we'll have less grip than potentially some of the soft runners around her. There is a Cardo ahead of Angela, starting 7th, about 4 seconds up the road. James Senior wearing the hard tyres, as we see in the background. Nikola Kakis getting a little tap there from what was that, Jacob Hine in the Mercedes.
Yeah, Hine definitely had a look to the inside there, that's for sure.
Everything calms down now, so people finding their rhythm. Gaps are relatively even. So now, people are going to get their heads down, try to set some good laps, consistent laps mainly, but might be able to get out a good lap here or there. So now
I'm pretty surprised with the gap between first and second, actually. Carl Zach opened up a 2.3 lead over Bevan.
Indeed he has, and Bevan is definitely pushing quite liberal there with the usage of the exit curb, and let's just get on the grass a little bit, maybe just overrunning and maybe pushing a little bit too hard. But Bevan now 2.5 seconds. Lap compared to Karolzak was 0.3 of a second slower. So these guys are not exactly matching times. Bevan still being a slower car compared on lap time, so we'll have to pick up the pace a little bit, try and find a bit of time somewhere. Because at the minute, Karolzak is just, I wouldn't say maintaining, but is managing the gap and is able to eke out a couple of tenths here and there. Meanwhile, Zach Silver has dropped a place to Stevie Bain. Stevie Bain, look at that, for him up in 5th. That's almost nosebleed territory for him.
That Beamer's looking awfully clean still there, Stevie.
Yes, indeed.
What happened?
Well, what hasn't happened?
Yeah, I guess what didn't happen.
That's harsh. No, let's not. It's a very good result for him. He keeps it put it going in this direction, he's going to have a very good result in fifth. Still 23 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely looking good there, though. That's for sure. Looking way more stable, a little more composed this round.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Nikola Kakis, though, has just lost out to Jacob Hine. So Hine's made a move around to turn 1. And they're going to go at it again. Nikola Kakis getting very bumpy with that front bumper.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's used it.
No, I know it's a front bumper, but you're not actually supposed to use it as it's described. You know,
For bumping.
You know, you're not supposed to. It's there if you have an accident, it's a bumper, but you're not supposed to use it to go bumping at other race cars. But little lob tap here
Or
and there.
DTMs.
Or DTMs, that's fair. Alfie lost second behind Junior, first lap by about 3 seconds. Yeah, absolutely.
Alfie actually has lost another second, though,
Yes.
right there to Karlzak. So looking like Karlzak has the pace, or Bevan might possibly be pushing a little too hard.
And you know who's coming back into the picture? James Leach, third place now,
Yeah.
catching. I wouldn't have think I could actually ever say that. Someone's catching Alfie Bevan. Catching Alfie Bevan in the same sentence.
Closing in. Closing the gap.
Again, same, like, no. Can't have those words in the same sentence as Alfie Bevan. What is going on?
Unless you rearrange them and say Alfie Bevan is closing the gap.
Okay. you just defeated my point there. Let's not. As Dominic very correctly points out, my lack of understanding of the English language.
It's the literal American in me.
Goddamn Americans. As Leach. Yeah.
And next season we're going all American.
God help us all.
Be hot dogs and hamburgers in the pits.
Or corn dogs. Not the corn dogs. Dear God. Sadly, as soon as we say Stephen Baines up into 5th, he has made a mistake and dropped to 13th. So, business as usual? I'm sorry, Stevie. I am so sorry. Tyres dead. Nat Raxa, probably for Beaver, he's on the softs. May have used up all the life in them straight away in a track that is not very long and it has a lot of braking and accelerating. Yeah.
Yeah, he's right into the pits.
Yeah,
now,
he's straight into the pits.
Oh,
he hits the wall!
That's not good.
That is not. He's reversing down the pit lane and does a U-turn. That works. He's going to lose him time, and you know what? That's quite fortuitous as well, because he was literally in the pit lane as the pit window opened. So I think if he was any sooner, he may have not obliged the pit window if he come across the the pit limiter line before the timer started. So could be a saving grace.
Yeah, it could be. I wonder if that's what happened to Nikola Kakis in the first race.
I do wonder.
Something along those lines, because he was in the pits for so long.
He was, and I think Alfie Beaver sadly will be doing the same.
Nope, he's out already.
Oh, he's out. Alright, either that, he's not
doing Alfie things.
He is probably not repaired his damage still, but yeah, that car does still look a bit battered and bruised. So I think he's not repaired damage, just gone for tyres and fuel.
I think he's pretty lucky to not have blown the engine on that impact. Sometimes those head-on impacts can be a little iffy with the engine blowing up on these modded, or not modded cars, but just the way that AC works with their damage.
Yeah. So Alfie back out in 10th. Karlzak though, right behind him. That's your P1 runner. Is looking at the 10th place car of Alfie Beaven, and that would say something, wouldn't it? Leader lapping Alfie Beaven.
Yeah, definitely closing in there. Obviously there was the pit difference, but I think Alfie's little J-turn entrance might have added to that.
Yeah, exactly. Can't put those sentences in the same word and not the same way in another. Words failing me tonight. No. You can't put those words in a sentence and make them sound different. So it's the first time you'll never hear that said about Alfie Bevan.
I don't know if that made sense even.
It didn't make sense either. only Alfie can turn a botched pit entry into something stylish.
Yes, yes, definitely.
It's almost like it's almost like he didn't see this. I definitely meant
somebody gave him a handful of lemons and he just turned around with a glass of lemonade.
He did indeed. Who's next in the pits? That is Ash Hill. And that is going to be an interesting battle as we see Ash. We see Alfie get past Ash. So, yeah, was that a change from the proverbial race lead?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think Hill has pitted yet, has he?
Hill's just come out the pits.
Okay, well then, yeah, I suppose Hill probably passed because of Alfie's stylish entrance.
Ooh.
But
So,
I'm sure Karlzak technically is still in the lead because he had a 3-second lead plus that mistake, so.
potentially.
And he's
yes.
right there, and I want to say the pit is about, 25 seconds? He's about 3 seconds behind him, so it might be like 15 seconds up the road.
See, we can't see who's pitted yet. We know that.
That's with my horrible math, too,
is
on the
it
fly.
horrible? Yeah. You can nail English. I'll
You threw maths out the window in the first race, all right?
Wow. Hold on a minute. I didn't throw it out the window. I completely and utterly just failed it. Halfway into the race now, with just around a quarter of an hour to go. Your race leader, Johan Karlzak, leads the way from James Leach in second, Scott third, Leach Senior fourth, Hind fifth, Bob sixth, Overstreet seventh, Alfie Bevan eighth, Hill ninth, and Silver down in 10th. Right, Karlzak has lapped Hill. And we are waiting for the leaders to make their pit stops. Guys, we do apologise, by the way. The timing screen on the left side, or timing tower on the left side of your screen, does not accurately track the pit stops. For some or whatever reason, these guys do need to make a mandatory, and it's supposed to show in orange, but for whatever reason it's not doing so. So we're relying on our good knowledge and memory as to who's pitted or not. When I mean that, I always ask Dominic just to track it, because he's always keeping track, hopefully.
Yep. So basically everybody has pitted aside from the top 7, so it's split right through the middle essentially. So Bevan down has pitted and Bob up has not.
Cool. So Jacob Hine comes in.
As I say that, yep, Jacob Hine jumps in.
And splits the pitters down the middle that haven't pitted. That's a bit of an OCD thing. Oh, he misses his pit box.
Oh, I think Bevan's off in the last turn a little bit too. That's not good.
Oh, he is. No, he's lost a position to Ash Hill.
And a lap technically to Karlzak now.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens as the BMW is very wide of Ash Hill, and that's place retained by Alfie Bevan.
I think that was just a little bit of wanting the position too much. Drove it a little too deep.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out how much of a pit stop is Karlzak going to have to take. I
want to say he's still going to be like a half a lap ahead, isn't he? It's about like a, 20, 30 second?
No, longer than that.
Is it?
We'll soon find out, because Karlzak
see.
does come into the pits. Hits the wall though!
Oh, no. Not as bad as Alfie.
We do sadly have a DNF. Ben Myatt has disconnected from the server. Angela Scott, P3 is off in the wall. that is, where in the world is that? Final
right,
turn.
coming into the last turn.
So Angela comes into the pit.
Goes right into the pits. Yep.
And she's not going to be pleased with herself.
Seems like everybody's having a botched in lap here in one way or the other.
Yeah, indeed. Karolzak then does come back out. And
still in second, too. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Still in second place. Alfie Beaver
Overstreet still hasn't
down.
pitted either. And so the only two we got are Leach and Overstreet have not pitted.
Got you. So Beaver goes up to fourth. Yeah, way behind Karolzak. Good odd.
Leach is in now.
Half a lap. So Leach into the pits. Nice smooth pit stop from Leach. Gets into his pit box A-OK. Is Overstreet going to pit as well? One more lap for Overstreet potentially.
I think I could even go 2, maybe 3 lap. 2.5.
Yeah, at least another 2, as we see Leach still in the pits. Here comes Beaven, and will take the position from
Hill as well.
And Hill will follow him.
Silver,
yeah. Leach is now exiting the pits. He's going to drop to 6th potentially.
Casper's got him even. Yep.
Is he all the way down in 11th?
Hello, gents.
Oh! It's a Ben!
It's a Ben whose game crashed.
Oh no. We're still in the pits.
So I figured I'd come and join you for the last few minutes.
Oh dear. Well, 11 minutes to go, good say. Still got a good opportunity to cause havoc. So.
No, I'm a bit of a rolling chicane today, so...
oh, bless you.
Brands is one of those ones, I know it really well, but I can never find pace around it, no matter what I do.
No, that's fair enough. Oh, what's happened to Overstreet? He hasn't pitted.
He's still got 30 seconds, though, and he's about a third of the way through, so I think he'll just get it.
It back.
Only just.
As long as... what is that? Oh, wait, is that Bane right behind him?
That's Bane right behind him, yeah, lap down. As Bane goes drifting and turns his car into a very expensive lawnmower. And Overstreet does find a pit lane in about 10 seconds to spare. So that's going to promote Alfie and Hill. But Karolzak in a complete league of their own. A good odd 20 seconds up the road from this battle for P2 and P3.
Yes, I think we've learned today, don't believe anything Johan says, because he was telling us how slow it was going to be earlier.
Don't believe Johan. Don't
believe a word of it.
Oh, Ash Hill up the inside, goes deep into turn 2, and Beaven, should I say, gets a cutback. These guys fighting away, wanting a bit of the same track, and they go side by side through turn 3.
Hill's coming through with his late found pace in the season, saying, I won last time, I want this second place now.
Indeed. Oh, and Alfie takes a lot of inside curve leading up into the final turn, and that loses a lot of momentum. Holds position for now. 21.5 seconds now is the gap to P1 and P2. 9 minutes exactly to go. Silver's
just hanging back there in 4th. I want to say if anything happens to Hill or Beaven in their little battle, I think Silver's going to be there to pounce.
What a move this would be. Hill up the outside of turn 2, becomes the inside of turn 3, and that's move done so far. Can Beaven respond? He's already over the tail, keeping to the tail of the BMW. He takes so much curve on that inside. He gets very slidey for the last turn.
Big slide.
Yeah.
Big slide from Alfie.
He keeps it pointing in the right direction now.
I don't know how he catches those slides at those odd angles. because he's not
He
like
loves
drifting. Yeah, it's just like such a deep slip angle. It's like not, it's not a drift, but it's not like, I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, that's Stevie Bain facing the wrong way in turn 2. He's going to have to be careful about a redrive with traffic coming up the hill.
Druids is not a place you want to be parked on the grass on the inside there.
Absolutely
And
not.
facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's like you're just trapped there if you don't play it right.
A bit of a drift from hill on the exit of Clark.
Yes, indeed, and that gives the reason for Bevan to still stick with him. Still going to look into turn 1, late braking? Nope, thinks better of it, stays put for now. Might reassess his chances up into turn 2, and I think he will do. Has a look up the inside. Later on the brakes, they give each other room. Bevan on the inside will become the outside, sadly, for the next turn 3. That allows Hill to defend.
Graham Hill Bend is one of the best overtaking spots around. It doesn't look like it should work, but if you can get alongside, you can properly sling it across that curve.
Oh, big move up the inside from Alfie. And Hill gets a cutback through the corner. But look at this, they're going to go side by side down the main straight because it looks like Bevan may have a half-decent run. He doesn't...
That was a proper slide job right there.
That was.
I'm going to drift past him.
No, absolutely. Signs sealed and delivered from that up into the final
That's
turn. And they're going to go
Oh.
at it in the second turn as well. Oh, that was so close to contact. But Alfie let us off just in time to allow Ash Hill to take the corner into turn 2. Turn 3 can't do anything about it. Did have a half-arse move up the inside, but might have just lost him a bit of time there. Is this Hill's home track? I don't know.
I think so.
You'd like to think so. There's
Oh,
a massive
no.
slide!
Oh,
There's
they come
contact
together
between Chippy and Silver makes
Silver
contact!
gets through, but not so much.
Oh, and Angela Scott's now going to be right on the tail of this battle. Zach Silver,
Who's that blazed around the outside in the Alpha?
that's...
Is that Leach?
I think
That's Leach.
yeah, I think of the lap down now.
A lap
He was
down.
back in 12th, yeah.
Yeah, so this really opens things up. Zach Silver now's got Angela Scott right on their tail.
Yeah.
That was, I almost thought Silver was going to just drive through, like, I'll be having that, and he just drove into him, it looked like.
This has now turned its head
Yeah.
completely. Last 5 minutes. What a way to send out the season.
5 minutes of the season left, and everyone is racing for position. Fantastic.
Indeed. And Alfie Bevan looking around, or having to defend potentially around the outside of the final turn, gets it on the grass and loses momentum, and that gives the place to Hill.
It's a proper drift race. This isn't even grip racing anymore. These guys are sideways everywhere.
Everywhere. And sadly, Scott into the sandpit. Around Scott goes. We'll have to hold the brakes and hope the car doesn't plough into the side of the car.
Through. Shosron's through. Gets it back facing the right way before Chris Overstreet can catch her. Well, actually, I say that he's lurking up on her now.
Yeah, indeed, Chris is, but I can't make anything of it, sadly.
No, he's not been terribly confident on the brakes in these cars, Chris.
No, he hasn't, which is a shame. But
Looks like his ride height's very low as well. It's sparking off the ground from the front.
he is absolutely. So maybe a very radical setup change that he's made for this round. But nonetheless, we'll keep going.
The amount of broken windows at the front of this race.
Oh, it's insane. It really is. Who's that? That's not for position, I think.
No, that's Leach, I think.
Leach trying to get out of the way of these guys. Trying to not lose time, but also try and get out of the way of the faster cars around him. He's now in a sandwich of these Hill and Bevan.
And he's got the run out the corner because of the four-wheel drive.
He has.
Still, I think I should have driven the Alpha.
Yeah, think about
Can we just draw a little attention though to Carl Zach? He is 31 seconds out in the lead.
God.
He's done a Verstappen.
Yeah, Mr. I'm gonna be so slow.
Yeah.
So gone.
Lies. Absolute lies.
He lies like a cheap watch. Well, even a
Leach trying not to getting in there a little deep into the back of a hill. Look like
is indeed, and that's Bane off on the grass, so he's going to stay right out of the way. And look at this, Bevan's potentially being compromised there. And look at this, Zach Silver now on his tail.
Yeah, I think Bevan's probably not too happy about this. Definitely losing some time to Hill there.
Oh, that's Leach.
Leach off there.
Well, that's
Alfie's got to be carrying damage from that hit.
It has to be, surely.
Yeah.
But if it was Zach who hit it, Zach's looking at a move. He's nearly up the inside there.
Yeah, well, Alfie decided to style his car into the pit entry wall, basically, so he's only got himself to blame. But,
yeah, that was definitely
that was definitely
could have been avoided.
Yeah, pretty much. Bless him. The wall of death and that little apex within the pit entry just caught him out, sadly, and left him quite broken after making contact. 1.5 minutes to go. What has been a splendid season. I reckon at least another 2 laps.
2 laps.
Silver is all over the bumper of Bevan right now.
But Beaver's catching Hill.
Hill's been sideways like just about every turn. I think their tires are gone.
Yeah. Once the tires go on that Beamer, it starts going sideways a lot.
Yeah, I think Bevan's in the same spot. I would have to say Silver probably has the best tires, like wear-wise, just because how little he's been battling and sideways. Oh, Bevan.
Oh, massive moment there. They both keep it on. I think Bevan might have just maybe got a little bit tangled with the BMW there as they went through the final turn. Might have a run into turn 1.
It's starting to look like a proper touring car race, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. The car's a bit battered and bruised. Goes out wide, tries to get the cut back on the inside and run through turn 1. Might make it work up into turn 2. But in the background, door banging there from Silver in true touring car fashion. Or DTM fashion, should I say.
We will be getting another lap too because Karlzak is closing in and up into the second turn already. So
one more lap for these guys to figure it out. Karlzak 36 seconds ahead now. And just incredible amount of time.
Proper sideways there. Wow. Hill was so sideways the whole time it looked like there.
Andrew Scott sadly has dropped to 9th. Briefly showed there as having a bit of an accident, and I think Silver's dropping back a little bit. So I'm not sure if he made a mistake there going into the final turn or through the final turn, but has definitely dropped from this battle, and I think unless he gets back up to it pretty sharpishly. Just to put it in perspective, folks, Karlzak has seen the checkered flag. Congratulations to Johan for finishing the race, and indeed stops it on the inside of turn 1, right in the way of people, of course.
That's a big juice, that just drifting in behind him.
2 wheels for Alfie, pushing, trying to find every ounce of time he can to try and get second place back. But I think Ash Hill will bring it across the line for second place. Gets very drifty through the final turn. Not enough momentum lost there for Bevan to capitalise. Hill second, Bevan third, Silver fourth, Lichstein and Jacob Hine 5th and 6th respectively. Casper in the Alfa Romeo will come across the line to see 7th, 8th through to 13th. We've already seen the checkered flag. We have Ben Myatt in the pit, confirming our finishing order for what has been a fantastic...
Ben Myatt in the commentary box.
And invited indeed. And what a fantastic end to the season that has been. Everyone's drifting and technically not supposed to be bumping into each other. But that is it for this season.
Yep. Alfie is crowned champion 2 seasons in a row. So he's going to be a happy boy.
I think we should have a success penalty. Success ballast.
Well,
Season to season.
funny you should say that.
Oh, Ben.
But the rules haven't been put out yet for next season.
Are we having another quick announcement?
Yeah, there is being looked at for success restrictors. We can't do success ballast because it doesn't work. But a success restrictor may be in place based on... Won't be in place for the first event, but based on championship positions.
Ooh, you've heard it here first, folks. What a way
I need to test how well it works on the GT86 because it might not make a blind bit of difference to their pace, to be honest.
No, exactly. You've heard it here first, folks. Success ballast is on the cards for next season. But to round off that, what has been a fantastically incredible race for around Brands Hatch Indy for the final time this year with these this season, should I say, with these 90s DTM cars. It's been an absolute sheer pleasure to stream it to you guys, and even more of a pleasure to be belated live on stream for mispronunciation of names, certain marshalling incidents, and also just to be in the presence of such great company as well. Dominic, you've been fantastic. Ben, thank you for dropping in every now and again.
No problem.
And
It's
again,
been great being here.
You both have been absolutely wonderful. And on that soppy note, we will end the stream. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in and joining us on what has been a fantastic final race this season. Stay tuned, 2 weeks' time. We will be back here on a Monday night for the next season of Assetto Corsa. Week off for us, a bit of a social fun race next week, I do believe.
Yeah, that'll be going out tomorrow, I think.
Open invitation. You want to come and get involved? Do so. It'll be a pleasure. Some of the admins might be racing, and I might be jumping in as well. Who knows? Guys, see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much. All the best. We'll be back live tomorrow for the next round of the Assetto Corsa Competizione Cup Sprint Series. Ben, I believe you're with me for that one. So
I am indeed. Yeah.
We'll be back in the Sharing Icons booth tomorrow night. Guys, take care until then. It's Aidan and Dominic and Ben signing off for the final time for the Classic DTM Championship on Assetto Corsa. Take care, guys.